Hi and welcome to another episode, and what I've got here is the Apollo IceDrake V4 accelerator. It's basically the replacement for the Vampire V2, if you've heard of them, for the Amiga 1200. It does lots of fun stuff. It says a lot of stuff on the front, but let's flip across to the back. The fastest Amiga 68,000K accelerator ever, 165/195 MIPS when it's overclocked. Because it's FPGA, it'll be the 68080 CPU, FPU, AMMX, and 512 megabytes of RAM. It does the Saga AGA 16-bit audio and HD video output. 2 fast IDE ports for CF and DVD. I'm hoping I can use my M.2 on that. I hope that works. And then over to 100 megabit Ethernet, 2 USB ports which can be used for a mouse and joypad. So I'm going to open this up. I'm not actually going to show you it running today because basically I've still got to mess around with my Vampire card and make sure everything's all okay with that, because I'm actually selling it to somebody and I've got to make sure it all works properly before I send it to them, because obviously I don't want someone thinking they're getting ripped off. Inside we have "Thank you for reviving the Amiga," and then photos of different people of the Apollo core group. Oh, it's going to focus. Yep, there we go. And then some basic instructions and a manual of what to do and what not to do. With one of these, I would highly recommend they actually take the Amiga to bits, not just try installing it through the trapdoor. I'll be very careful here because obviously I've got to be careful about static and everything, but as you can see, I've not actually opened this before. So, tearing in. There we go. I'll keep it on this anti-static setup. There's the back of it. Let's zoom in a little bit, shall we, because I'm sure you're quite interested. And as we know, I have super duper fast zoom. That's the back. I wonder what port that is there. But on the front, what do we got? A couple of pins for LED headers, which is something else I've got to purchase so that I can actually get what's happening off of this board, because the IDE ports that are on here, which is the one for this, there's another adapter here for the CF card, but seems a bit bent. There we go. It will stop you from using the ones that are in the one that's internal to the Amiga 1200. So you've got to think about that when you're using this. So it does have a header for it. So there is another gadget I want to get so that the LEDs on the 1200 do flash. There's a header there for something. Dear me, I don't know what all these different headers are. There's also a jumper, but obviously network, HDMI, SD card. I'm assuming one of these ports then is for USB. One of them's for flashing as well to update the firmware. From what I understand, they still haven't quite got it to a point that you can do it through the Amiga. But yeah, hopefully that will come later. But as you can see, the size of it and everything, trying to push this on through the trapdoor could be a bit tricky. For those that are interested, it's a Cyclone 5, the Altera FPGA chip. Some people are installing fans and things on there. I might put a heatsink on, but I'm not going to bother with a fan. But apart from that, what else I got in the box? It's quite a surprise. But, I'll show you that in a moment. Slide this in here, put that to one side. You get a sticker with the Apollo group. It says 128 gigabytes on it. The whole point, I think, for this is that if you bought the CF card from them, that's what you can get with it. a couple of transfers. We've also got USB ports, which obviously you're not expected to plug that into the back of your Amiga 1200. Be fine if you've got the desktop conversion kit going, but you're supposed to plug these into there and unscrew this from here and have them dangling out the back, I think. It's one way of doing it anyway. What else did we get? We got a couple little bags of Haribo sweets, a USB gamepad, which you can see I haven't opened this up either. Let's get into here. Well, it feels nice to hold. It's like a grippy plastic, if that makes sense. The coating that's on it is nice. It's a budget gamepad. Obviously I've got no idea on how well it feels to actually play, but it can't be that bad really if they're pushing them out with such an expensive accelerator card. You can buy these separately from them. Yeah, so it's like an Xbox gamepad, but USB. And then finally a mouse, which this also needs opening up. There we go, nice black and red. That's nice, I like black and red stuff. And there we go, nice little mouse. It feels clicky. Again, how responsive it actually is, I haven't tested it obviously, but it's a nice little mouse to have. It'll come in handy, if not for the Amiga, it'll come in handy for other computers that I've got that could do with a little mouse to be clicking around on. And I realise you're not seeing this all up and running right now, but as I say, I want to show this, but I have it running in a different episode because this and the running episode, it would be quite a long one. So I've cut it in bits like this. So get ready in coming weeks of seeing this all up and running. And as I say, I do hope it runs with my M.2. If it doesn't, I'm going to have to mess around and get a CF card. But apart from that, click the subscribe button, hit that like button, have a look down below for the description. And in there you should find links to the Discord and my Patreon. But as always, happy gaming.